Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Lifetime movies.
Hi, I'm Patrick Serrano, and I am a Lifetime movie expert.
I'm Dan, and I despise Lifetime movies, and this is the Deck
Take
the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast.
Brandon and friends host this podcast.
We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hello, welcome.
Sneak up on you there?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget how to talk.
Oh my gosh, we have a walking legend with us today, and by legend I mean I'm just happy he's still with us.
Yes.
Patrick
I'm
Serrano, it's always good to talk to you. You almost died.
Oh, yeah.
What happened?
Well, some listeners may have noticed it's March and we're doing our first Lifetime, Death of Lifetime Uncorked. I went to Bramblefest, or not Bramblefest, the thing
The
that's like
Deckies,
Bramblefest, but it was
yes.
in January. Yeah, I went to that and I was like, kind of feeling a little tired. Like I slept a lot.
People wouldn't have known
when
it
I
though.
went.
No. You gave your 100%.
Well,
Oh, no.
you were great.
Well, thank you. Yes. Well, I put in the time, when I'm out in public, and then I go to my hotel room and just bundle up and take a little nap. So that's what I did. And all of a sudden I got back and I could not stand up. Like,
Uh-oh.
period.
Oh my
I just
gosh.
couldn't stand up. Not because like my muscles didn't work, because it was more like getting dizzy.
Oh.
So I was like, oh man, I'm like really dizzy. Then I'm like, well, I guess I should just for like the weekend, like when I got back, I was just like, well, maybe I'll just like chill. Like my parents can like bring me stuff,
Yeah.
like cater to me. I'm not feeling well.
That's right.
And that was nice, but then it didn't get better. And,
That was nice, except
so-
I almost died. So
Right. So then I went to the hospital and they said, oh, you have no potassium in your body and you're supposed to have that. So apparently you're
You
supposed to have
need that.
potassium at a
Okay.
certain level.
good to know.
My levels were not right. So if it could also be too high, your potassium. So you have to be really careful.
It's tricky.
With eating or however you get your potassium.
So what'd you do?
Everyone
You
told me
just got some nanners? What'd you do?
See, that's what everyone says. That's what everyone says.
I
But
saw
guess
that.
what?
I saw that in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, I hate bananas. And I this is my new passion in life, you guys. Bananas are not the highest potassium food. Okay?
What
So don't
is?
tell me to eat a banana. Tell me to eat a sweet potato. Tell me to
Ugh.
eat some Greek yogurt. Tell me to eat a baked potato.
Okay. So potatoes and Greek yogurt, more potassium than bananas.
Something. Yeah, there's lots of things with more potassium than banana.
Brand, the smoothie that I get us every time we do smoothies has Greek yogurt in it. So we're good.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't
good.
think we're gonna have the potassium issue.
No dizzy here.
Yeah, you won't get dizzy. You're gonna feel fine.
I love it.
So you were good for a little while, and then calamity struck once
Well,
more.
Yes. Well, I have my follow up with my specialist today. So
Oh.
we'll see. My blood work and everything looks good. So potassium's good. But then I ran into like something backstage at work and I have a like huge bruise on my leg now. So I'm just limping around.
We're just taking it day to day with Patrick.
But I
is
wonder,
what we're
do you
doing.
think the bruise is
I-
so big because of all the potassium?
All right, Doctor
Could
Gray
be.
over
Could
here.
be. Yes. You've seen a Grey's Anatomy episode or two.
Sometimes when something happens, you begin to shift and you shift a little bit too far, and then your leg becomes a bruise. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
I was okay. I'm gonna just act like I didn't hear any of medical advice from Brand.
I've seen doctors.
All I know is this is Patrick posted to his Instagram story that he was in the hospital, and it's maybe the first time. It's definitely the first time, and it will probably be the last time I've ever laughed aloud at someone saying that they're in the hospital, because the way that he told people he was being admitted into the hospital, like he literally like had to stay multiple nights. Things were not looking great. The way he told people was he took a picture of the hospital TV that had Golden Girls on it, and he said, "Good news, the hospital has Golden Girls on. Bad news, I've been admitted to the hospital."
Yeah.
That's fantastic. I mean, that's good. That's good social media presence
good.
there. I mean, did I laugh
you, thank
first and then went, "Oh no," second? Yeah, but Still funny stuff, Patrick.
Well, that's how you got to do it. You got to get soften the bad news with a joke at the top, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Who checked on you more, me or Dan?
Ooh, that's a good question.
It was equal. It was equal. I was wondering if you guys were sitting in the same room.
Did
like,
you check on him?
texting.
Yes,
I thought
multiple
it was
times.
just me over here.
It was so funny. Yeah, you guys would text me, but it would be like literally like within like 5 minutes of each other.
we
I'm like,
never,
"There."
we
talk
literally never
about it.
talked about it.
We didn't talk about it.
We didn't talk about
Yeah,
you
you
being
might
in
have
the
been sitting
hospital at
next to
all.
each other, both texting me at the same time. Yeah,
We should check on him.
We
Right?
should check on it.
yeah,
we should check it.
timestamp it.
But the best we could do is to divide it out by 5 minutes. You think 5 minutes
5
is long
minutes
enough
is
to wait?
enough. You do it, and then I'll wait.
And then
5,
I'll wait
and
5
do it. And
minutes.
the next time I'll do it, and you wait.
Well, we are
Yeah,
obviously so
very-
happy
very
that
kind.
you're feeling better, and that gets us to this moment right here, which, by the way, has been a long time coming because you texted me about this movie like a month before it aired, and you were like, "We have to do this movie," and I said, "Okay," and here we are today talking about what is it? Killing the
Killer
competition.
Yeah,
Melissa
killing the competition.
Melissa Joan Hart is once again a mom. We talked about her hoarding movie. Was it last year?
Hoarding might have been 2 ago.
Okay,
Yeah.
but
There was one with the nursing home.
that's right. Yes, but the transition to Melissa Joan Hart now being
Mom.
of teenagers has happened over the past couple of years,
Yep.
and we are back at it today with Killing the Competition. Patrick, what do we need to know before we dive in?
Well, the timing worked out great for this because the January, February movies weren't awesome on Lifetime. They were all those like biopics. So if you wanted to see a biopic of like Gloria Gaynor or like Lisa, those
Lisa.
type of people,
Yep,
you could watch that.
You
It
could.
was called Voices of a Lifetime.
And of course
Voices
you could.
a Lifetime.
Of course you can watch it on philo.tv/DTH if you want to have the
Duh.
Lifetime channel.
Yeah.
and
I don't
watch
know
all
who
those
Lisa
movies.
Lisa
Absolutely.
is.
I don't know who
I know
Lisa Lisa
Gloria
is either.
Gaynor is. I don't know who Lisa
It's
Lisa.
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 Lisa, I can't think of a song that you would know of hers.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
But she
Glad
got
we
her
did
own
it.
movie.
I'm really trying, but
We nailed it. No, it's
It's-
good.
okay. Well, yeah. So Lifetime biopics. At least they got the music for these, which we were happy about. So we love that. But then I saw cheerleader murders were coming. I'm like, it's cheerleader murder season already? What?
Can't believe
Uh,
it.
Sneak up on you.
And HBO released a documentary about the famous like Texas cheerleader. Do you know about that case, Dan, where the mom her daughter didn't make the squad and she put a hit?
I feel like
out
we've
on
talked about this on this podcast.
There's a
before.
documentary about this.
Mhm.
I've talked about it with
Oh.
someone before. It's either on this podcast or with Brain.
What's
I
it
think
called?
It's on this podcast.
Do you know what it's called?
It's probably called like Texas cheerleader murder or something like
Nice.
that.
Yeah.
Scandal, Texas cheerleader murder scandal.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna
And
watch
Lifetime
that.
has never done a movie about that case. This is the closest thing they've done. HBO did a documentary or did a TV movie back in like the 90s with Holly Hunter as the Texas mother.
Yes.
But yes, the basic premise is the girl doesn't get on the team. The mom is like a Kris Jenner type of overbearing mother and puts a hit out on the mom, the other mom in the other family.
And so this one does say it does start with inspired by actual events, but the names or whatever have been changed. Blah blah blah.
Right. They're covering,
Covering the bases.
covering all the bases. So yes, but of course, Melissa Joan Hart is playing the mother. I didn't write down the mother's name, so we're just gonna call her Melissa Joan Hart,
It's all that
Fair.
matters.
MJH.
right? But yes. Oh, the name is Elizabeth Fenwick is the mother's name, and she's
Elizabeth
definitely not
Fenwick.
Wanda Holloway. She's definitely not the lady from Texas.
Very
who
different.
put a hit.
Very
different.
different.
And in the beginning, I was like, "How different is it, really?" But then things kind of go really different. It gets differently different, doesn't it, Bran?
It gets. Oh, I don't know anything about the case, but I do know that Melissa Joan Hart is a lot in this in this here movie.
But isn't she supposed to be?
She is. Yes.
Okay. Like that makes
She
it
is.
better, right? Not
And
worse.
she plays a lot very well.
She plays a lot very well.
She does. Dan, also, so you can picture this, Melissa Joan Hart is famously a non-Botoxer.
Okay. Is this like something she like brags about regularly?
she uses like some type of face putty that fills in her wrinkles,
What?
like a putty, like a like silly
Like
putty.
silly putty.
I know what you said. I just can't. She puts something in and it just fills it in and becomes part of her skin.
It's all just silly putty.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly. And she advertises it online. She does ads on her Instagram
Shout
for the
out.
silly putty you put on your face. So she does not do Botox. She's a silly putty.
Now I know you're a Botox guy, Patrick. Have you thought about trying the silly putty?
Yeah. Have you dabbled in the putty?
I haven't. I haven't. No.
Sabrina putty.
I feel like.
Try it.
Yeah. Right.
Claricilli putty.
So that's not bad.
you.
So, but what's stopping? Like you don't think it works?
I don't think it works. I mean,
Oh, okay.
her face is very animated in this, which is why I know she doesn't have Botox. And she's given face. I have many screen grabs on lifetimeuncorked.com. You can see all the Melissa Joan faces, the many faces.
Melissa
of
Joan
Melissa
faces.
Joan Hart.
Melissa Joan faces.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yes. Okay. Jumping into the movie, Melissa Joan Hart. We start off like we're on like a football field, right? Yeah. It's like it's giving like Friday Night Lights.
Friday Night Lights. It's like the drum lines.
But Friday Night
That was
Lights has a
totally.
much different.
Yeah, but
vibe
this
to
was
it
the drum
music-wise. You were okay. Fair. All right. I don't need to go any further.
We'll get
with
to
it.
the drumline conversation.
I can picture
don't
it.
worry. Yes, and everyone in town is at the game except for Melissa Joan Hart.
Where is she?
Where is she? She is coming in from home. She's like, sorry, I'm late. I got pizza for dinner or something. And her teenage daughter Grace is like, what? Why weren't you at the football game, Mom? What's going on? And yeah, that's pretty much the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, and you can tell, Melissa Joan Hart says like one sassy thing to her daughter before bed, but it's like, okay, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
But even in that moment, you're like, all right, I think I know who this person is.
Because she's a lot.
She's a lot.
She's a lot.
Yeah, and she just seems distracted, and she seems like very not interested in her daughter, like concerned about her or anything. We cut to 6 weeks earlier. 6 weeks earlier, and we see that
Well,
Melissa
hold
Joan
on.
Hart.
You skipped the part in the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Yeah, in the middle of the night, there's a bang, bang, bang at the door.
Bang.
Oh yes,
There's a
you're
bang,
right.
bang, bang
That
at
is
the door.
That is a big part.
It's a big part.
Patrick is not surprised, nor is he bothered by the fact that he missed a giant part of
Yes.
this movie.
Okay, so it's the middle of the night, bang, bang, bang on the door. And
door,
Melissa Joan
baby,
Hart
bang,
comes down.
bang.
They open the door. It is the police. They come barging in. They are arresting Melissa Joan Hart.
Oh my gosh.
They have a gun and they say,
They hold
Is
the
this-
gun up here like this.
yeah, and they're like, is this yours?
You're holding the gun. You're like,
Is this gun
your gun?
yours?
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't even own a gun. What? This is crazy. You must have something wrong. And then as she's being pulled out, she's like, I just explained to them, I know what this is about. My daughter, everybody's out, trying to get at my daughter because, she made the dance team, blah, blah, blah.
That's right.
I'll get all this straightened out. Now it's cut to 6 weeks earlier.
Yes, I did forget the arrest at the beginning of the movie.
It's fine.
It's fine, but it's clearly obvious they're setting it up. We're gonna come back to it later.
We're going to come back to it.
So we get the 6 weeks earlier. We see that Melissa Joan Hart is a major stage mom, and not only like you can do it or like smile. She was a cheerleader, and it's like she's reliving her glory days.
Yeah.
Through her daughter.
That's right. That's right. It's one of those
Yeah.
things, where remember in the Philo deep dive when I watched Cheer Moms.
I know
or
exactly.
whatever,
Yes.
and I just talked about how I was just sad.
Yeah.
I was sad that people were being mean to their kids because they want to relive the cheerleading
Whenever you
days.
see a parent like that, it's tough.
And this
man.
is what Melissa Joan Hart's doing. She's got a lot of thoughts on how her daughter should be cheering.
So many thoughts. And they're back in the hometown where Melissa Joan Hart grew up. So it's also adding to her like, oh, I was actually the head cheerleader on this squad. Like, you're my legacy daughter. You're gonna you have to get this. It's destined to you.
That's exactly right.
But also she calls her daughter to like fat. She's like, you're. I didn't write down exactly what she said, but she gets in a lot of digs at her daughter,
Right.
like, "Smile, what's wrong with you, you
Ugh.
bucktooth beaver?"
Whew.
Like she
All
didn't
right.
say buck beaver. I made that one up.
She
But
didn't say smile, you bucktooth beaver.
Imagine if she did.
Imagine if she did.
Yeah, Matt.
Yeah,
Imagine.
Yeah. No, I
that.
got it. Yeah, I'm here
just as hurtful, whatever she said.
to imagine it
And
just as
the
hurtful.
daughter is not the best cheerleader,
No.
but she can twirl the baton.
Yeah.
Their baton, really?
But
Okay.
is that enough? That's the question. So it's time for tryouts, and the pressure is pretty high. It's not like, when you would try out for cheerleaders, I would imagine
When you try out for cheerleaders?
yeah, most high
Mhm,
schools,
mhm.
it's like, yay, I got cheerleader. But this is like it seems more like compared to like the boop 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 in New York
You
City.
are talking like
Hold on.
someone who just showed
No,
up
no.
on planet Earth and is being described some of the basic machinations of high school for the first time.
New
Right.
York,
It's not like when you try out for
Rockets.
cheerleader.
the Rockettes.
It's a boop, boop, boop.
All right, stop. They're describing it like it's a lot more like the Rockettes, like a very exclusive club.
Yeah.
You have to be like the same height. It's very serious, Patrick. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
say.
It's like that Cowboys cheerleader documentary that came out on Netflix where they all have to do high kicks together.
You got a high kick together.
And if you can't high kick together, then what are you doing on
Then
the
kick
squad?
yourself out.
I know I shouldn't ask. They made a documentary on the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yes. so
What?
you haven't seen the Dallas Cowboy cheerleader Netflix documentary
Can't say that I
show?
have. No, time
Ugh.
out. It's a TV show?
It's like 8 episodes. It's
Brand likes the
good.
documentary. I never watched the documentaries. I'm not saying
Oh,
you like
so
that,
good.
like the doc in general. No, I
Brand
wasn't.
loves that documentary.
I wasn't throwing. No, I've never heard of it.
No, I didn't know. I don't know much about this one.
That's as close to sports as I get. Is
Yeah.
a cheerleader documentary about the Dallas
So it's
Cowboys
intense.
Intense.
Yeah.
So intense.
So is this.
Yeah.
So is this.
So
movie.
is this. And the best part about this audition, besides from how intense it is that Melissa Joan Hart it's not open auditions, okay? The parents can't be in there. But Melissa Joan Hart, after getting kicked out of the gym, hides behind some volleyballs that are on a rack, her head is like one of the volleyballs, Dan, like a Muppet movie type of hiding.
I'm here for the Muppets.
It is so great.
Here's a
I was
picture.
just like, yes. So funny. Oh my God. I was like,
love
Melissa Joan Hart, you're cracking me up.
She's fantastic.
Uh,
She's
so
fantastic.
good.
Um,
And
sorry.
the rival is Hannah Lee.
Hannah Lee.
Hannah Lee.
Now, here's the situation. Hannah Lee, although this cheer team doesn't claim to have a captain, Hannah Lee is front and center.
De facto captain.
And Melissa
Yep.
Joan Hart knows that front and center means captain because she was front and center.
She was front and center, yeah.
The
Duh.
problem is Melissa Joan Hart's daughter is not as good as Hannah Lee. And maybe not even good enough to make the team.
By
And
a
Melissa
mile.
Joan Hart
By a
knows
mile.
that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
She knows.
yeah, she knows, and she's disappointed, but she knows that it's important for her to make the team, and she's going to fight. She's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that she makes the team.
Because it's not just about cheerleading. It's also about your social status
Right.
in high school. And Melissa Joan Hart doesn't want her daughter to be a loser. She multiple times says, daughter, if you don't make the squad, you're going to be a loser and you're
Right.
going to have no friends and you're ugly.
Right.
And everyone's going to hate you.
Now, I got to be honest with you. At one point, and I don't know if it's at this point or a little bit later, but Melissa Joan Hart does this whole thing where she basically talks to her daughter about how important your social status is in high school because it's how everybody will remember you. And she does
Yeah.
this like thing where she's like, this guy is this, but I always remember that he slept through class or whatever. So it's like, no matter what you do in your life, you're always going to be reminded or remembered for what you did in high school.
Huh.
And I think that that's maybe just her.
Well, you got literally on YouTube for your graduation speech
Uh-huh,
where
sure.
you had an afro in
Yeah.
high school. You had shaved it. You wore an afro wig. And at the end of the speech, you took off the wig,
Sure.
got him. if anyone was going to be remembered for what they did in high school, it would be you.
Well, yeah, but
And you're not remembered for that.
I think that it's one of those things where it's like if you remember somebody from high school unless you still know them. If you still know them, then you know them for what you know them for, right? Am I being crazy, Patrick?
Well, I don't remember anything from high school, so it was just it happened, and I left that in the past. I mean, I don't dwell on high school very much, and I was popular. I would say at least popular enough to not get like shoved into a locker or something.
Right. But Melissa Joan Hart is very preoccupied with the fact that you have to have this.
She peaked in high school. Clearly, she peaked in high school, and it's damaged her since.
She peaked in high school.
Yeah.
Yes. So, with Hannah Lee being the front runner, Melissa Joan Hart is obviously upset that because it's like a nepotism situation, the one she's trying to get as well. Hannah Lee's mom was also a cheerleader the same era as Melissa Joan Hart.
Was she front and center though?
She wasn't.
Yeah.
And the coach of the team was also around high school when Melissa Joan Hart. So she's taking it personally. Like they have a vendetta against her. And they're taking it out on her daughter, which isn't fair because they all went to high school together. So she goes to Melissa Joan Hart goes to the school board, and she basically like makes like a impassioned speech, and Melissa Joan Hart shared this on her social media, like going for that Emmy campaign. It's not that dramatic, right? It's just like everyone should be on the team, or she's like, my daughter should be on the team, and the school basically says like, oh yes, your daughter should be on the team, and everybody who tried out should be on the team.
That's right. So Melissa Joan Hart, when her daughter didn't make the team, she was like, I'm gonna fight for you, and she won. She got her daughter on the team, but she's mad because not only did her daughter make the team, but every other person who tried out also now has to make the team. It's only fair. And so she's like, it's now no longer an exclusive club.
It's not exclusive anymore.
Now you got these tall girls and these other girls who aren't good in the dance thing. And I think she's, a little bit missing the point here. That was what you can't like.
I want my kid to make the team. Oh, everybody's making the team. It doesn't mean anything anymore.
That's exactly what she says. She's very mad about this. Yes.
But no one else is on her level of mad. Like Hannah Lee welcomes Grace to the team.
Hannah Lee's great.
She's so nice, and she like even invites Grace's boyfriend and best friend. Hey, you guys want to come be on the team? And they're like, we're good. We didn't even try out, but she's very nice. And so is Hannah Lee's mom, Nicole, who is going to be the interim coach because the original coach quit because she was mad the school board like ruled against her.
Right.
Her decisions.
And obviously, Melissa Joan Hart, this isn't news to her because she's constantly hiding behind things at the gym to watch her daughter and to stay in the know. And if you think it's just a one-time, Dan, you'd be wrong. She hides in the gym.
What's that now?
All the time. She's constantly hiding in the gym.
No.
She might have a second home there. I don't know.
Yeesh.
She wears a disguise too. She's got a brown wig and some sunglasses.
It would be embarrassing if you were found out, if somebody recognized you.
Yeah.
It's not the best disguise, but it reminds me of when Britney Spears would go out in public and with the paparazzi and like wear like a really obvious wig and sunglasses,
Right.
Yeah. Classic.
It's exactly like that. It's exactly.
Don't make me sing.
What if we disguised our way?
Don't take a picture of me in disguise.
What if we disguised our way to a break? I don't really know what that means, but what if we took a break?
Oh, I like that plan for us.
I like that too.
Okay.
What will we look like when we come back?
I don't know.
You'll have to watch Follow TV to find out.
Okay, we'll be right back. We'll be right back. Uh-oh. We're back.
Oh, would you look at that? Patrick, where'd Bran go? I feel like two of us are back. We took a break and Bran was, oh my God, Bran. I thought that was a horse. Turns out it's just Bran over here.
It's me.
Why'd you change your voice?
I am a disguised Bran.
Wow.
Stupid.
And a horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Patrick. Where are we at?
Okay. All right. So Melissa Joan Hart, she gives her daughter, like they go shopping and stuff, and she gives her daughter a little makeover
Mhm.
because she's a fat loser, and her words, and suggests that Grace get a new boyfriend because Tyler, the boyfriend, is not cool enough. He's not popular enough to be her boyfriend.
Yes.
Um, and Grace is kind of like, I'm cool, like I'm okay, like I'm doing my thing. Don't worry about me, mom. She talks to her dad, and she's like, Dad, mom's like really going off. I'm worried about her. Something's wrong. And the dad's like, oh well, we'll figure it out. So Melissa Joan Hart, she she goes shopping. She's inspired to go shopping, and she meets a sales clerk, and the sales clerk is very gay sales clerk. We love him. Would have been my role if I was in this movie. And he calls Melissa Joan Hart as she's buying sunglasses for her daughter, but then eventually just decides to keep them for herself. He
Yes.
calls her a lawnmower mom, and I've never heard this term
Yeah, that's new.
before. A lawnmower mom will run over anyone to get what they want for their child.
That's right. And I would just say
They will
this.
mow over
Before
you.
you call someone a lawnmower mom, you should think to yourself, will that person take that literally? And if you think that they might take it literally, don't call someone a lawnmower mom. Unfortunately, this guy
no.
did call Melissa Joan Hart a lawnmower mom, and Melissa Joan Hart thinks to herself, not a bad idea. So she hops in her car and she tracks down the boyfriend and runs him off the road. And it's basically like, stop it. Stop being around my daughter. And then she also does a thing where she texts him from Grace's phone about like we should get married or whatever, hoping that would scare him off. Nothing is working. This guy, this high school boyfriend, will not break up with this girl for any reason.
No.
An amazing high school boy who has his head on his shoulders,
That's right.
respects his girlfriend,
Yep.
and it's just like, you know what? We don't got to be in a hurry. No
Par
big
for
deal.
the
You're not
course.
going to scare me.
Par for the course.
Standard high school boy.
I'm pretty sure there was a horror movie called The Lawnmower Man.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure there was. Like, I
Okay,
think it
I'm
had
sure.
Pierce Brosnan in it, and that's the only thing near that I've ever heard. Before.
Lawnmower Man,
Oh, look at that.
1992. 2 hours and 21 minutes.
But it's 1992
Whoa.
sci-fi horror movie, and it does have Pierce Brosnan in it. Oh, and Dean Norris as well. Look at that. Man, should we watch it?
I guess so. Anyway, so
Okay, great.
she's actively trying to get them to break up, but it's not happening.
She's scheming. She was already scheming, and now it's getting to be a deadly. Or wait, maybe she's killing the competition,
Oh,
I see what's
interesting.
going on.
Interesting.
right?
Makes
Uh,
sense.
but Tyler, our boyfriend, who's just a little cutie, he's got the middle part. He's
Sweet Tyler.
purely.
Classic middle
This
part.
is not a 30-year-old playing a high school student. This is a literal high school student who got cast in this role.
That's right. We call him Sweet
Um,
Tea.
Sweet tea.
Do we?
Yes.
Nice.
He goes right to Grace, and he's like, Grace, your mom tried to kill me. Um, and she sent me these weird texts, and I just thought you should know. Like I'm gonna stick by your side and do whatever you need to do, but you should know that your mom's out here doing these things. And Grace is like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. This happens all the time. I've got to talk to my mom. So she talks to Melissa Joan Hart. They have a very intense kitchen talk. If
Yes.
you've ever had a kitchen talk with your parents.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
serious. You
Big
don't
time.
want to have
Right.
a kitchen talk.
Kitchen talk.
Here's a kitchen talk I had one time. During the pandemic, I came home to be with my family for a month, and my friend sent me gummies in the mail,
Uh-oh.
and I thought they were like sleepy gummies, but they were weed gummies,
Oh boy.
and I took them, and
How many?
I took 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many milligrams they were. It was a lot. Like I had to take a shower to like get my brain right, and I was like feeling every strand of my hair as I'm like washing my hands, And I come downstairs in the kitchen, and I sit down, and my dad bought me this huge hoagie because it was lunchtime,
Yeah.
And you were
I'm
hot.
trying to-
Yeah.
and I was hot. I'm trying to eat this hoagie, and I'm like, wow, I must be like just like looking so crazy because I was like feeling every like morsel in my mouth.
Why'd
that I
you
was
take a
eating.
sleep gummy before lunch?
I don't really know. There's something I don't remember what
Not
I
all
thought it
tracking.
was.
I think Patrick knew it
Yeah.
was a weed gummy.
No.
He's trying
Yeah.
to save
didn't-
face.
I didn't know what it was, but it was a weed gummy. I forget what I took it for, but it mustn't.
So
You're
you're
right. It
eating
can't
this
be sweet.
hoagie.
And then my parents are like in the kitchen doing their thing. But I think they're like staring at me like I'm crazy. So I put the hoagie down and say, "Mom, Dad, can we talk about something? I need to talk about something." And they're looking at me like, "Oh my god, what is he gonna say?" And I'm like, "I accidentally took weed gummies, and I'm really high right now." And they just busted out laughing in my face. They're like, "What? That is what you wanted to tell us? You made it sound so dramatic." So that's
Man.
my kitchen talk.
Your parents sound like the coolest.
Did you
I gotta
finish?
be
Did
honest.
you finish your hoagie?
Oh, I did, but it took me probably 3 hours
Yeah.
Yeah.
to like finish that hoagie.
Yeah.
Because it
At
was
least
just
it
too
felt
much
like
sense.
3 hours, I bet.
Yeah, it was probably like
It was
30
probably
minutes.
10 minutes.
Oh,
Maybe
I was there
10
forever.
seconds, and he just swallowed the whole thing. And then he was just like, man, been eating this hoagie for hours.
Ever.
It's still
Yes.
12:15. How the?
I love a hoagie.
Yeah.
So be
Yeah.
careful out there, friends.
That's right.
Yeah, be careful.
Mel-
All that to
Melissa
say,
Joan-
be careful. When you get gummies in the mail and they're sleep gummies
Yeah.
and you want to take one bright and early in the morning, read that label.
Yeah.
You could be in for
Read
it. You don't know?
They were loose. To be fair, they were just loose gummies in the mail.
Like,
in
oh
an
my
envelope.
God. They weren't in a package or anything? There's
No,
like in
they
a
were just
Ziploc
like-
bag?
Perhaps in a Ziploc bag. That sounds like something.
And
Sarah
you
would do.
were just went whole hog. You were just like, yeah, I'm going to take 2 of these bad boys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna chill. I just need to like chill.
I'm going to take my 10 a.m. melatonin and I'm
Oh
going to
my
relax.
God. Man, the
Yeah.
confidence of Patrick Serrano. Just a Ziploc bag full of gummies.
I want
from
to
a
start
friend.
sending my friends gummies in the mail
Yeah.
and in Ziploc bags and just see what they do.
I'm dead serious. If you sent me a Ziploc bag full of gummies in the mail and we live next door, I wouldn't touch them.
Yeah.
I would literally not touch them. Patrick's like, well, let's do 2 at once. See what happens.
I'd give him a
Yeah,
shot.
it seems great. Seems
Oh
great.
my God.
So the kitchen talk here doesn't go as well as mine did. Melissa Joan Hart lists every failure from childhood to Grace that she's ever done.
That's right.
Uh,
And Grace is like, do you just stay up at night thinking about all the failures I've had? And she's like, yes, I do.
Boy.
I know.
That's tough.
It's like there's Mommy Dearest, right? Mommy Dearest, and then there's Melissa Joan Hart in this movie. They're very close. They're
Yeah.
very close. There's no like physical abuse, but like lots of verbal, just the worst things to say to your child ever. But also it's hilarious, right?
Right.
So
Like, I didn't know.
funny.
It's so funny.
I-
It's so funny.
She always zigs when you think she's gonna zag, like it's an emotional conversation, and then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, I do keep a list about all the terrible things we've
Oh
done.
my God.
That's right. So Melissa Joan Hart is beginning to spiral a bit. I think that's safe to say.
Yeah.
And she begins to realize that, she finds out that people are like laughing about her. She once again is going to try to make her daughter and Tyler break up. She's like, Tyler's cheating on you. Everybody at school is laughing at you. Nobody likes you. It's like this whole thing. But like during the day, Grace is like doing great. Great boyfriend. Once again, shout out Sweet Tea.
Shout out Sweet Tea.
Great relationship with all the cheerleaders. It's like going great for her. And so she's like,
Thriving.
she doesn't like, she can't understand like, what is my mom talking about? Why is she saying these things? Is there anything true about them? She's having a very tough time about this.
Well, and don't forget, Grace gets the baton twirling solo
That's right.
in the big cheer choreography.
Pretty big deal. Everyone knows that.
Awesome.
But you guys don't know that because obviously you've never been a cheerleader. Baton twirling is not a cheerleading skill.
Yeah, I was thinking, I really was thinking that only because I have a cousin who was in color guard for years and would talk about twirling, and she's very, very good at it and still does it like on the club level in college. And I thought that would
She
be
goes
more
to the club and
she goes to the club.
Watch this.
That it would be more on that end of it than on the cheer end of it. But I didn't know, so I didn't say anything. But I'm glad to have some confirmation there.
Yeah. I also have a cousin who's very prolific in baton twirling and would compete in national competitions. And I
Ooh,
was like,
which
why is
cousin
this
do you
not-
think's better?
I mean, if your cousin competed
They
in
probably know each other.
national, yeah, national. My cousin is only probably 20 right now, and she competes with a club. She competed all through high school, and then when she went to college, she now competes at the club level. I don't know if she competes in the national level, but shout out to you, Emily Stack, still crushing it.
shout out Emily.
That's right.
Do you
There
want to
you
shout
go.
out your cousin?
No, I will leave them a mystery because they probably would like their baton twirling past to be left in the past.
Oh,
Okay.
That's
All
what,
right.
That's,
You know,
that's
a
what you're.
mystery for sure.
I feel like my cousin got burned. It was like I'm ready for the Olympics, and the Olympics said we don't want you. We don't
Wow.
believe in your sport. Your sport is just give me a pencil. I can twirl that around like whatever.
It's
Yes.
now Patrick is ridiculing twirling.
Yeah.
In a
Sure.
tournament
No, I'm
dance.
that was the Olympic.
I know, I got
the
you.
Olympic
I know.
committee.
Yeah.
I
Listen,
think twirling is very hard.
cheerleading is serious business.
Yes,
is what
it
you
is.
need to know. That's what you need to know, and that's what this movie is showcasing. It's very serious.
I just got a text from our producer that says this movie is about a dance team, not about cheerleading, and that is a very big distinction that no one made until this very moment.
Mm.
Well, we didn't notice that.
At least I didn't watch it.
we saw cheerleading in the title and assumed it was cheerleading.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, that's
That
weird,
does
huh?
explain why there was chairs on the football
Yeah,
field.
Now it makes
Because I
more
was like, chairs
sense.
don't belong in cheerleading. Okay. Anyways, Melissa Joan Hart purchases a gun for self-defense.
Yes. What's
She
the
is
self-defense?
guy.
It literally on IMDb says, killing the competition. A loving mother becomes enraged after her daughter is cut from her alma mater's dance team.
Yeah, but look at they got the little things.
Pom-poms?
Yeah, they got pom poms.
Dance team has those?
Yeah.
I got to be honest, guys. I don't know the difference between the two.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that movie
No,
we
did you
watched called Gotta Kick It Up?
Yes.
Dance,
Dance
team,
team.
had pom poms.
Oh, and we had this whole conversation.
We
Yep.
did at the
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
That's when I learned.
Okay.
Believe it or not, still foggy on the distinction between the two. Yes.
Still
Hey,
foggy.
Yeah. Still foggy.
I know a difference between a pom squad and a cheerleading squad. And look, this movie was ambiguous about it. Okay.
Listen, all I gotta say is, as long as they're not mysteriously mannequins, I'm fine. You
Sure.
can be a dance team, cheerleading team. I'm
So
fine
great.
as long as you're actual people, and they are people.
Right.
They're people, right?
They are.
Okay, great.
And Melissa Joan Hart, full disguise, gets a gun,
Yep.
brings the gun to Hannah Lee's house.
Hannah Lee.
And Hannah Lee and her mom Nicole are there, and she pulls the gun on them. She's like, "All right, I'm gonna kill you guys."
I
No,
gotta be honest,
you-
bro. I don't know her plan. I don't know what her plan is
She has no plan
in this moment.
She just good. I feel like she just went there on a whim.
So the good news is Hannah Lee's mom
Hannah Lee.
just stepped in cat poop, and so she doesn't have her shoes on, so she can't go
Caught a
outside.
break.
so she can't go outside. So Melissa Joan Hart, being respectful of that, says, "Go get your shoes." And while she's doing that, she just takes Hannah Lee and takes her and kidnaps her basically and brings her to her special shed,
A shed full
a
of
she shed.
high school memorabilia.
That's right.
Special she shed.
It's a special she shed.
Say that.
Full of high school stuff. The crowns, her old cheer uniform, which she makes Hannah Lee get in because she's the right size, unlike her daughter. Again, her words, not mine. I'm not saying that.
Her words were, maybe you'll fit in it, unlike my daughter.
Yeah. So, which she does. And then she makes her dance for her, which I found to be weird. And
Mhm.
hey, can you do a dance? Can you do a split? Show me your stuff. And
No.
And Hannah Lee does. Now,
No.
while all this is happening,
No.
it's time for the game. And everybody's like, where's Hannah Lee? We don't
Hannah Lee.
know. Where's Melissa Joan Hart? We don't know. Could they be together in the she shed? Could be, but we're not
Could be.
going there right now. And so that's where we're at. Hannah Lee having to do dances for Melissa Joan Hart in the she shed. That's where we're at currently.
God, that is terrifying.
I know. And Melissa Joan Hart is just eating it up. She's going full force. With the mom with the shoes, the mom's like, "Oh, I don't have my shoes." And Melissa Joan Hart's like, "Get those shoes, get out of my face." She's just a 10 here.
What I
She
love
is-
about this though is Hannah Lee was like, "Don't take my mom, just take me. She doesn't have her shoes on." And Melissa Joan Hart's like, "That's actually not a bad, you bring up a good point." And she's like, "No, go get your shoes." She like forgot for a second that she was kidnapping people and decided to be like considerate. You know what? Go get your shoes. Because her mom, Hannah Lee, was like, "You can't make her walk outside barefoot. It could hurt her feet." Melissa Joan Hart's like, "Great point.
It's a good point.
Go
Yep.
get your shoes."
Didn't think of it.
Well,
So
and
she's
Melissa Joan
kind.
Hart with Hannah Lee, she's like, telling Hannah Lee all about her high school experience, how great it was, and she's like, you know what? Maybe Grace isn't the best project. Like, maybe you're my project, Hannah Lee. Like, I'm gonna make you the most popular girl because it's just not working out with my daughter, and now you're gonna be my little like pet project or
That's
whatever.
right. That's
And,
right.
and she's like, no. She's like,
No.
I don't want to do this.
So they
We
get into
see-
a fight. They get into a squabble.
Yes.
Yes,
they
and,
do.
And Melissa Joan Hart's like, you made me do this," and like holding the gun up, and Hannah Lee knocks it out, and then she hits her in the head with the thing and strangles her, and we're like, "Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, Hannah Lee's dead." Melissa Joan
It's a
Hart.
long strangle.
Melissa
long
Joan Hart
strangle.
just killed Hannah Lee, and that's
Yeah.
Dark.
Right. And she leaves Hannah Lee. She like, is like, okay, I'm just gonna go home, like nothing happened.
That's right.
And this is the part where Melissa Joan Hart comes back and her daughter's like, why weren't you at the football game? And she's like, I brought dinner, like, relax, everybody.
That's exactly right. I brought dinner. Everyone get off my case. But here's the twist, Dan. Hannah Lee, not dead.
What?
Mm-hmm. She like gasps like up, when you sit up and you're like like that.
Yeah. You strangle someone for a long time, eventually they might go. So
I
you
get
gotta check that out.
You got to
first.
check that out. And if in case I strangle
stra-
anybody one day?
In case you strangle me, make sure I'm really dead.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure.
Right. Well, according to Drew
Nathan
Bear,
carried Little
my
Jack's body.
former producer, he always said you got to strangle somebody a really long time to kill them, like 30 minutes or
Right.
more to like kill them.
Right.
Dear
So
God
you can't just
almighty.
strangle someone until they
No way to
pass
know that
out.
unless you've done it. I mean, right?
Well, I don't ask Drew questions. I just let him do what he does. But yes, I always remember that in these movies because I'm like, that wasn't 30 minutes. I didn't get a 30-minute strangle scene.
That was not 30 minutes. It was a long time though. I was surprised that they were showing it, because it's an adult strangling a teenager. But also I was
Yes.
surprised that it was as long as it was. But it didn't work. 30 minutes or more, everyone knows it.
Well, and
This
of course,
isn't an
Hannah Lee
easy
goes
bake
to the
oven.
police. So she's and her mom like finds her in the car or whatever.
Yes.
It's like, hey, this lady kidnapped me, and that's why she got arrested.
Yeah,
right?
and she left the gun behind like a moron. Melissa Joan Hart left the gun behind.
Gosh.
Dumb.
it's her garage.
I know, it's her.
she shed.
It's her she shed. But still, you can't-
Special she shed. I
Yeah.
can't say special she shed very fast. I can't imagine
it's
you
tough.
trying it
Special she shed.
5 times.
Special she shed. Special she shed. No, it's hard.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's a tough
hard.
spot.
That's a hard one.
So Melissa Joan Hart is arrested and
Yep.
goes to court, and it's bad. She's guilty, and we
She tries to do the speech again.
Yeah.
Like, I was popular and my daughter isn't, and you should give me leniency for this. And she doesn't get any.
That's right. That's right.
She's in the slammer.
She's in the slammer. Her family goes to visit her, but is not happy when she finds out that her daughter's going to a community college. Ugh. And I say that as somebody who went to community college.
too.
And then after she gets done talking to her real daughter, she walks and she sees another girl there, sad, and she goes and she hands her a cookie, and she's like, maybe you should smile a little bit. And the girl smiles, and she's back at it again, and that's the killer time. What is it?
Killer competition.
Killer competition.
I know.
Killing the competition.
That's right.
Yeah.
We
So she
did it.
hasn't learned her lesson.
No, she's
And no, she's not. So now on the podcast, we decide if we're going to put a cork in it,
Yep.
which means no thank you, or pour it up, which means yay. Dan, you haven't seen the movie. Based on our description and your imagination, what are you going to do to this movie?
So this is a tough spot because from all accounts, this is Melissa Joan Hart just full bore going nutso. And I think there's some fun to be had there. It also doesn't sound like too terribly fun time. I get the feeling you guys are both going to pour it up based upon how it was described to me and the fact that I've heard from both of you. She's at a 10 numerous times, and she's a former child star of the 90s at a 10. I don't think it would be for me still, but I can't say I'm not tempted by just the idea of Melissa Joan Hart going full crazy as a mom. I'm going to put a cork in it, a tentative put a cork in it for me. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
I'm going to put a cork in this one.
Oh, okay.
And it's tough because I think Melissa Joan Hart is giving a swell performance. She's doing a really good job. I have a weird thing where you can in these movies you can be mean to strangers, you can kill who you want to. I don't really care. But once you start being mean to your own kid, I start getting sad.
Even in a Lifetime movie.
Even in Lifetime movies.
Okay.
And this movie, I just kind of ended up being sad, which I don't know if, I'm sure that's what they were going for a little bit, but I didn't want to be sad. So I put a cork in it.
True. Yes. We don't like to be sad. And I think this movie, you're right, Bran, was trying to go for the feels. So they didn't really have the Lifetime background music that they normally have. The soundtrack was when they were having these heated conversations, it was pretty much at face value. So no underscoring, nothing.
Yeah.
And yeah, the making fun of kids isn't funny. But isn't it kind of funny?
So
This is you've watched so many of these movies.
This is a tough one because for some reason I just didn't find this one fun. I think back to the one that we watched last year with the mom who had all the phones. Remember that one? And that one was just so crazy that I think it still had some fun to it. This wasn't I just didn't find this one to be fun in the least. And, maybe kudos to Melissa Joan Hart's performance. She was just so unrelenting and mean that I was just
wow.
She
was too good going.
Not my witch.
Going full bore.
Yeah.
Okay.
She might have been too good. I poured it up, to be fair, for her performance. I thought she did a really good job. I like her going more crazy than playing the boring mom role. She's been a boring mom in a couple of these. Yeah. So I poured it up for her, but now that I'm thinking about the movie overall, I think I understand you guys, your kind of concerns. So I will put a cork in it, even though my blog says pour it up.
Yeah, you've already poured some wine out. Are you just corking it for later, or what are you doing?
No, I'm just putting a cork in the movie overall. I think I've talked myself into the movie. Maybe I was caught up in the Melissa Joan Hart of it all.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I almost poured it up purely for that. So
she was a really good villain.
There you go.
For what it's worth. She was a really good villain. Well, we did it, everybody. Now, are we we're smack dab in the middle of Killer Cheerleader Month? Is that right? Or dance team, if you will?
I think it was more of a teaser because what's been coming after this is not.
What's coming?
We got the Octomom. Octomom just happened. I know, you guys. And Natalie Suleiman was I guess she's a producer or something on that movie. So she interjects the movie with her, it's her face talking.
Oh my gosh, that's
explaining things
awful.
what happened.
No thanks.
Yeah, it was pretty not great.
So what happened in this scene, C? She's explaining what you just saw.
She's like, don't judge me, don't be a hater.
Ugh.
She's very traumatized. Good thing she didn't have social media back in the day because I don't know if she would have survived. So so stuff like that. We're still doing the biopics and all that type of stuff.
And you know what? I think we're due here soon for a Lifetime game show Palooza.
The annual.
I think we're
third annual, fourth annual.
Time.
Yeah, we got
almost time.
You guys, Miss Vivica put out a wrong movie.
Oh.
Another wrong movie. The wrong. I have to look
That's
it up.
one of them.
The wrong something.
Yeah, the wrong something.
But it was peripheral. It was like a stalker or something. So the person didn't choose the wrong thing. The wrong thing happened to her.
They just run out. They've just run out of things.
The wrong obsession. Yes, they've
Oh.
run out. I mean, there's definitely more, but
Maybe we
this
need to
one
do
was
that. I need one of those ASAP is what I need. I need it ASAP. All right, well, we did it, everybody. LifetimeUncorked.com for all of Patrick's wonderful reviews, not just what we talk about on this show, but also all the movies. You just cover all the Lifetime movies, so go check that out. Anything else for the people?
That's it.
Come on back next time for another one. Until then, maybe the first to wish you Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.